Like this man didn't kick France out of his country. Like this man didn't open up 2 tomato processing plants. Like this man didn't make medical health care free for all, no matter what your status is. And recently, over the last couple of days, made education free up until uni.
As an African-American woman, I am so proud of President Traoré.
Ruto must go. What is Ruto going to tell us? How is Ruto giving anybody hope? Ruto already is, even his own people don't want him. You the Kenyan people, you're not the type, and you would call your leader out. It's your Ruto, it's Kasongo that we are after. Not the Kenyans. We love the Kenyans. We know the Kenyans have morals.
If Africa was a country, who do you think would be the president? Any African faced with this question would probably point to Burkina Faso's Ibrahim Traoré. Even in Kenya, many have pointed to Traore's direction, ditching their own president William Ruto. This debate has set the continent of Africa on fire, and these two leaders are throwing fuel on the flames. Kenya's William Ruto, the so-called hustler, is bleeding credibility as his people curse his name. Burkina Faso's Ibrahim Traoré, a 37-year-old warrior, is setting the continent ablaze with his fearless rebuilding of his nation. These men don't just clash, they hate each other. Traore's ice-cold snub of Ruto at Ghana's 2025 inauguration and Ruto's cowardly jab at Traore's coup prove it. Most Kenyans are allegedly done with their president, and many are chanting Traore's name in regards to dignified leadership. This is Africa's fiercest feud, and we are ripping it wide open. William Ruto conned the Kenyans in May 2022, swearing he would end foreign loans, slash taxes, and fix schools and hospitals. He called himself a hustler for the Mwananchi. By 2025, Kenya is drowning in a $2 billion IMF loan, with taxes on any moving, living, and non-living thing choking the poor. Over 61 youths were gunned down or beaten to death in 2024's anti-finance bill protests, and Ruto's answers? More cops, more bullets, more loans.
Kenya, we must be very prudent in the management of our debt. Whether we like it or not, that is a very great threat that we face as an economy. Ukiangalia fedha ambazo tunakopa kama nchi, I believe there is another better way we can manage our public resources.
William Ruto sasa wako Uchina, na tunasikia ameenda kukopa pesa za kujenga leli ambayo alisema ya kwamba imebaki kwa kichaka. You remember he said that it is in a bush, it is in Uhuru's chamba. Hiyo ukora yote alisema. Na sasa ameenda kuwaomba pesa wale ambao waliwatukana. Maybe they will be gracious enough to give him money.
I don't want to mention countries where we are borrowing, where we are borrowing money. You know, the money we are borrowing from China, for example, is savings of the Chinese people, right?
His government has been accused of extravagance, displaying flashy lifestyles, expensive suits and shoes, cars, and flashy display of monies. Are these the same monies that have been taken as loans from foreign countries and Kenyans are supposed to pay back?
God gave his only begotten son so that today we can equally be saved. And because God gave as an example, we are going to give.
In 2024, while Kenyans starved, Ruto groveled in Washington, kissing Biden's boots and selling Kenya as America's lapdog. His US NATO ally badge, a scarlet letter. On social media, Ruto must go became a war cry, with Kenyans spitting on his name, calling him a traitor, who would rather bow to the West than fight for his country. When Trump won elections, Ruto ditched the US and chose China instead, defending his lone hunting spree. Then there's Ibrahim Traore, the lion of Burkina Faso. This 37-year-old soldier didn't beg for power. He took it in a 2022 coup and flipped his country's fate. Free tractors and seeds for farmers. Gold mines snatched from foreign vultures. Schools and clinics for villages the West forgot. Traore told the French troops to pack up, flip off the IMF, and cut deals with Russia on Burkina Faso's terms. Insurgents still lack, but Traore is real. He owns his failures on radio, rallying his people. His alliance of Sahel states with Mali and Niger spits on ECOWAS. Hashtag Traore the future is a movement, with Kenyans screaming, why isn't Ruto this brave?
There are leaders who are doing their work. Look at Traore in Burkina Faso, Ibrahim. In 2 years, we've had 2 years of people here complaining and saying, we are trying to figure out, 2 years is a short time. Traore is saying, I have done everything I needed to do. I want to hand back the state to these people to choose a president democratically. And they are going on the streets and demonstrating and saying, no, you are not going anywhere.
Fix the country.
You are staying here. Can you imagine Kenyans demonstrating and saying Ruto must stay?
January 7th, 2025, Accra's Black Star Square. Ghana's John Mahama is sworn in, but Ibrahim Traore owns the day. Ghanaian youths lose their minds, chanting his name over 21 other leaders. Then the dagger. Traore snubs Ruto, refusing a handshake in a moment that set Africa on fire. Social media posts claim Traore roasted Ruto for Kenya's protest massacres, saying leaders like him kill youths and call it democracy.
How can you impose democracy by killing millions of people? It's a dictatorship, not democracy. You can't impose it. Those who call themselves Democrats have seen scenes where people were prevented from joining assemblies. We've seen scenes where forces landed in assemblies to force deputies to take texts. We've seen more terrible scenes where people kill their demonstrators. But they call themselves Democrats, and we're called Fiercest.
Rocking a holstered pistol screw protocol, Traore's snub was a public flogging. Kenyans went wild, posting, Ruto got schooled, for a generation watching their brothers die in Nairobi street. Traore's shed was pure fire. This beef was born in 2022, when Traore's coup kicked out Burkina Faso's interim regime. Ruto, ever the West's choir boy, ran to the African Union's mic, slamming the coup as undemocratic.
The Republic of Kenya joins the rest of the world to condemn in the strongest terms this unconstitutional act that subverts democracy through a coup d'etat.
How noble, except it reeked of Washington script. Traore, who'd just booted French troops, saw Ruto for what he was, a puppet shilling for Paris and DC. Traore didn't flinch. In a Ghanaian interview, he touched Ruto's democracy, snarling, if it means slaughtering protesters, keep it. Kenyans on X erupted, posting, Traore spitting facts, Ruto's democracy is a body count. That was the moment this feud turned personal. Traore's shadow looms large in Africa. At the April 2025 AES-Russia consultations in Moscow, his video address demanding an Africa free of Western chains lit up the African continent. He hyped the AES 5,000 strong army and new passport while Ruto groveled at US Trade Summit. Ruto's allies called Traore sag, but it's too late. Exposed taunt. Traore builds nations, Ruto builds graves. Some claim Ruto's shaking, scared Traore's vibe could spark a Kenyan uprising. No proof though, but the streets are loud. Traore is a king. This ain't just a feud, it's Africa's breaking point. Traore's rebellion and reforms light a fire Ruto can't extinguish. Kenyans have said, we will do it democratically in 2027. But can Traore's way save Kenya? Or is Ruto's game the only one in town? Pick your fighter, Ruto or Traore, and sound off in the comments. Newsroom, Maisha TV, Bushabi Jr.